welcome to Masterclass, guys. We're glad you are here with us, entering our 9th year of Masterclass. We are so grateful for all of you who have made Masterclass the weekly place where you get information from the best of people in our community who are entrepreneurs, doing it with excellence, doing it in an awesome way. I just want to first of all thank lead co-host Dr. Joy Ohio, who has been our wealth coach and been with us for a little over a year. Dr. Joy is just so successful down there in Florida. She is now elevated to a place where she just doesn't have the time. And so that's a good thing for us. We wish her the best. We are so grateful that she joined us, and from time to time she's going to come back and drop some nuggets on us. So we thank God for her success. We thank God for her safety, and we thank God for her elevation. I'm overjoyed to introduce you to your new weekly guest host, my dear friend, Miss Anna Banks of Thrive Leadership. Anna is the person who I credited, along with Dr. George Fraser, that got me on my journey in networking way back in 2001. I had just started working at an image consulting practice, which was the largest image consulting practice in America for men. The conditions of my employment were that I could only work with men who had a net worth of $500,000 or more. And I thought to myself, where would I find such men, right? So cautiously optimistic. Anna was a member of my church at the time, Elmer United Presbyterian. We got to talking one day in the fellowship hall, and I told her, look, I got to find some guys that make a lot of money, or I'm going to have a very short employment. Well, she had a suggestion of a group called BNI, Business Network International, and she was then associated with the leadership of the Short Hills chapter, a very wealthy neighborhood in New Jersey, and invited me to come and as a guest of hers at that chapter, where I was introduced to, among others, a still person who's a dear friend of mine, attorney Terry Camp, and also Miss Catherine Walzak, now Walzak Huddyman, I think.
Right, that's right.
So, you know, I visited that chapter and became fast friends with everyone there. Anna was elevated to regional leadership, so she was not with us in the chapter much, but she checked in on us. And that's where my journey in networking began. And that's where I started to find men who earned $500,000 or more. Around 2003, I was in Cleveland, Ohio, to buy a book called Success Guides. A gentleman named George Fraser was selling a book with profiles of very successful people in the book that he called Success Profiles. And I was fascinated by this man because he also had a book out called Success Runs in Our Race, which became a bestseller. And he was friends with such people as Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and others like that, Earl Graves of Black Enterprise. And I was like, how does someone get to be friends with these people? And so I began working with George. Let me tell the truth. I began carrying his books at various conferences, standing at the table, making sure his money was collected. That was the price I had to pay to be his friend, me and a brother named Jermaine Miller and a brother named Haki Ami. And we would carry George's books and follow him around and drive in the car with him. That's how I met Colin Powell at an event in Cleveland with George. Powell was being thought of as a potential presidential candidate at the time. So between Anna's encouragement to join BNI and George Fraser's encouragement to learn networking, George had a thought that I just really agreed with deeply. And his thought was networking is the foundation of unity. It is the precondition of unity. His position is, if we're not connected, we can't be unified. It is the precondition for unity. And I was like, whoa, that one got me. I said, man, I got to get to know this guy. So, you know, we got to know each other a little bit better. And then one day he said to me, my mom and my dad weren't together, and me and my 12 brothers and sisters ended up in foster homes. And he said, my father was a Guyanese. Whoa, I'm a Guyanese. I really want to get to know this guy now. So his father was a Guyanese. So, of course, therein made the bond stronger. 24 years later, I have the keys to 5001 Mayfield Road, Suite 314. And I guess in a certain kind of way, I'm a successor to George Fraser. He asked me one thing when he gave me the keys to the office, guys. He held my right hand very tight. The keys were in that hand. And he said, when I'm gone, the only thing I ask you is that my name will not be forgotten. Didn't ask me for money. Didn't ask me for anything. He just put the keys to the office in my hand. And he said, Stan, when I'm gone, all I ask is that my name will not be forgotten. So on this morning, guys, I want to thank my friend Anna Banks for agreeing to join Masterclass. It just seems so appropriate that the person who had pointed me in the direction which has now provided a reason and a purpose through my professional life for the last 24 years. Not in law. I mean, I'm a lawyer. I have a law degree, but I turned away from that because I was just so enthralled with this. So I have to thank her, and I have to thank George for who I am. The world knows me now as Stan Matthews, the Master Networker. Well, that name would have never, it would have been possible without Anna saying, go that way to find guys that earn more than $500,000. So you can connect with them and learn from Ivan Meisner and others who were leaders, the founder of BNI, and then, of course, with George. So I thank both of them in my journey. And having Anna agree to join now in this next chapter of her life as a AI expert, and teaching us that AI is not a may in our toolkit. It is a must in our toolkit. So I'm grateful for our sister being here. She will come with a different focus on AI and entrepreneurship. And guess what, guys? Best of all, because right now my theme is wise counsel as we move towards the pay-per-view event on the 5th of June, Wise Counsel Matters with Dr. George and Boyce Watkins. You could not get a wiser counsel in the area of AI and how it impacts your business than Miss Anna Banks. You could not get a wiser counsel. So she's going to come with plenty of AI food. And then I encourage you to get in contact with her for consultations that will be very high value, right? Very high value. We want you to be on the cutting edge. We want you to be way out front of everybody else. And so with that said, I give to you our new weekly guest host, my friend, the one and only Miss Anna Banks of Drive Leadership.
Well, as you were taking that trip down through memory lane, I was like, oh my goodness, this is, it's funny, but not a coincidence, how God does things well.
He knows.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, Stan, thank you so much, for this opportunity. My heart is always that as a teacher, and now that I am deep into teaching and training, companies, organizations, as well as entrepreneurs, the benefits of AI, not just from a tool perspective. And that's what I really want people to be clear about. This is not about the tool. This is about literacy. It's about how you get to choose which tool you use and how you get to then use that tool to better enable you to grow and support your business. So very briefly, I work with businesses, small entrepreneurs, corporations, nonprofits to turn AI into clear, practical systems that actually support revenue and growth. Now, I use the word revenue because in nonprofits, they don't think about revenue, but it's still about the money that comes in to support the mission, as well as for entrepreneurs to support your business's growth and development. And so this is really what I'm seeing right now and what I'm looking to bring to you each week. First of all, you've already tried and used AI in some capacity, but nothing has really changed. You know, you've tried ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and maybe some other tools. But your workload as an entrepreneur and as a business owner is still high. Your systems feel scattered, and your revenue still hasn't clearly moved because of AI. And that's not a tool problem. That's a strategy problem. And so what I want to do just today, as to give you a little taste of what I'm going to be bringing to you each week, is we're going to talk about the shift that you as an entrepreneur or a business owner wants to consider. And I'm using that word loosely, consider, because AI is not going away. If you don't embrace it and make it a tool in your toolkit, then 5 years from now may look very different. Let me just say it like that. So here's the shift that I want you to walk away with today. AI is not about creating results from tasks. These are the tasks that you use. AI creates results from systems. Let me just repeat that. AI does not create results from tasks. You're using it for tasks. AI creates results from systems. So it's not about what AI can do. It's about where AI is placed inside of your business. It's not about whether it's connected to, making sure that you get a quick answer. No, it's not that. If your AI is not connected to how you generate leads, how you follow up, or how you deliver your service, it stays helpful, but not profitable. And so you don't need more AI, my friends. You need AI connected to something that already drives your revenue. So when we meet again next week, we're going to really start to dive into some of the strategies, not just tactics, not just, things that you're currently doing. We're going to look at strategies, because literacy today will enable you to become more strategic in how you run your business to become more profitable. And so I'm Anna D. Banks, founder of Thrive Leadership Institute, and I help business owners turn AI into clear systems that support real revenue, not just more activity. But I have a gift for our friends today. Is that okay if I give them that?
It is absolutely okay.
All right. So if you're already using AI but not getting the return, then I'm going to ask you to go to this link. It's GetAIThatPays. GetAIThatPays.com. And you can go there and download my report, which is called You're Using AI, So Why Isn't It Paying Off? It's the AI Profit Gap Report.
AI Profit Gap Report. I like that. All right. And even comes with good marketing terms. The profit gap. Woo!
Yeah, right?
Right. Why there's got to be a gap in my profit? So, we don't want gaps in your profit, man. We don't want gaps in your profit. Listen, guys, I promised you 9 years ago you would get the best of the best on Masterclass. In fact, one of the projects that Dr. Frazier has on the table, our next collaboration book, After Who Blessed You, which is in its 4th edition now. Our next collaboration book will begin in January, is going to be Masterclass, right? We're going to ask 30 people like Anna, including Anna, who are masters of what they do, to write 7 pages. With George and I'll contribute 7 pages on digital marketing, on the theme, if you're not on television or you're not on streaming, if you're not promoting your business there, you're not being seen, period. Nielsen does a report every year about consumer behavior. And that report says 75% of all consumer decisions, whether to buy a tractor trailer or to buy toilet paper, are made after seeing a 30-second digital ad on your phone, on your tablet, on your PC while you're streaming, or while you're watching TV. The visual controls the buying. When you see it, you buy it. Why do you think those billboards are all over the highways? Why do you think you see a McDonald's commercial 18 times a day? They know that if they get to this, they get to the wallet. They get to the pocketbook, right? So buyers watch what's before them on whatever screen, the small screen of the phone or the big screen of the TV, right? And that's what I do for a living primarily. So we're going to bring together 30 masters, and they each are going to give a 7-page summary of why their profession is critical to your success, right? Now you're going to pick up that book, right? And you're going to be able to deploy strategies from Anna and from George and from Boyce and from Dennis Kimbrough and others who will be in that book. These are the masters. Now you could ignore that book if you want, to your own detriment. Because if I could have Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and LeBron on the same team playing for me, why would I not want that? Much less 30 of them, because there'll be 30 all-stars in Masterclass, right? So I want to, again, thank Anna for joining the Masterclass team. And I have a sense here, an intuitive sense, that our subscription to Masterclass is going to go through the roof. Not because of me, but because of, I think, a teaching phenomenon that she will bring, where people will come and get stuff like GetAIThatPays.com, right? You don't get that from me. Get AI, because they're going to be real tools. And people, I have the sense that we're going to go beyond our current 1,600 subscribers very easily. And I'm grateful for that, right? And by the way, in Masterclass, I don't want everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I do not, right? Rolls-Royce only makes 100,000 cars per year, and they have a waiting list 7 years long. Rolls-Royce sells exclusivity. I don't want everybody. Who I do want are those people dedicated to what Dennis Kimbrough says. At the checkout counter of ultimate success, there are no discounts. You must pay the price, the full price. So I don't want everybody. Don't come to Masterclass with a discount mentality. Yo, bro, let me get it. No. I don't. Please don't come here, right? And don't come asking Anna, can you take a little something off that. No, if she gives you her best and she gives you her best value, then you must pay, as Dr. Kimbrough said, at the checkout counter of ultimate success, you must pay the price. Right? Gotta pay. Right? Not an unfair price, but a price for the value that you're getting. Right? So I don't want everyone. I do want those people who want to be the absolute best at what they do, because that's who I ask to come here. Right? Very simple. We sell exclusivity in Masterclass, right? We want to be fair and respectful and loving, but we're cultivating a community of the best. That's what I want, right? Quality, not quantity. So thank you, Anna, for being with us.